Hey y'all, Tracey, Trials of a Long-Haired Girl here. It's been a minute. Where have I been? Well, if I'm being honest, life just kind of got in the way. I recorded some videos, but I didn't take time to edit the videos. Work got crazy. It's just been a whole multitude of things, and if I'm being honest, I was kind of struggling with the direction for my channel. So kind of a couple of things. Tomorrow is Labor Day. I'm intending on putting this one up tomorrow. But kind of, here's what I will say. I'm trying to see a nutritionist, but I have been very focused for the last month or so. I set a step goal for myself. And so the first week it was, we had gone to Colorado and we had walked a lot. My husband and I got more steps than I had been getting in since I had injured my foot. And ironically enough, I fell while I was in Colorado. And I was kind of dealing with some pain, but I was determined to try to push through if I could. And I actually hit the step goal that I had set for myself. The first week it was 5,000, at least 5,000 every day. The next week it was 6,000. The last 2 weeks it's been 7,000. And while I may not hit that every 7 days a week, I expect myself to hit it at least 5 days a week. So this week started out a little rough. Monday, my coworker was off, which was fine. She needed to take a break, and so I'm glad that she was able to take her much needed vacation day. And she actually did send me a message and ask me, did I want her to come in? And I responded no. But I didn't hit my goal on Monday. And I told my trainer with Trainwell, if you're interested, I will link it down below. They have a 14-day free trial where you can get an assessment from a trainer, decide if you want to continue with it. This is actually going to be my second year with Trainwell. I believe it is. But I've been trying to focus more on getting my health in line. And to that end, I will say, I think I mentioned at one point when I was on here one of the last videos that I did, that I had been reading Fit God's Way. And I'm embarrassed, but not necessarily ashamed, because, life it's a growing process, and a relationship with Christ it's a growing process. It's a learning process. It's a journey. It's not just, wham bam and you're at your goal, which is much like weight loss. Expect to hit 50 pounds overnight. That's just not how it works. But excuse me, I need a drink. My son got me this wonderful cup from Coldest, which definitely helps me get in my water. Okay, so what I've been doing for the last month, I've really been trying to focus on myself. I hit my step goal for the last 4 weeks. The last 2 weeks it's been 7,000, and I've also been doing 2 strength training sessions at least a week. So I talked to my trainer on Friday and I said, hey, let's bump that up to 3 times. So I've got training, strength training on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Because I think those are the days that are going to work best. And we have an alternative plan in the event that I need to go to the senior center or to the rec center, like a different location. But one of the things that I really realized is that I did not stop to think about the fact that if I'm going to have a relationship with Christ, He needs to be in every part of my journey. And I wasn't inviting Him into the health part of my journey. I wasn't inviting Him into my fitness. I wasn't, while we pray over our food, I wasn't stopping to pray over Him helping me make the right decision with regard to my food, with me giving my training and my walking, my goals as a form of praise and worship to Him. So I'm kind of trying to shift that focus and change that around. But to that end, I'm really trying to focus on getting in the protein, getting in the fiber, and one of the things that I kind of got frustrated with, I have a Hume scale. I think that's how you say it. Hume, whatever. But I have one of those scales, HUME. And I was kind of feeling a little frustrated, and it reminded me why I kind of quit weighing in every week. But I know that I need the feedback, and what I will say is one of the things that it has definitely shown me is the fact that while I have been training and not focusing on the food that I am putting in my body, I realized that the scale kind of started going in the wrong direction. And it made me realize how important protein is to my body. But aside from that, it also shows me that even though my body may not look like what I want it to, and I'm thankful for what my body can do and is doing, it has also shown me where I have lost visceral fat, subcutaneous, how much subcutaneous fat that I have. And so I'm really kind of trying to dial in on the macros, like what foods I need to be eating, what will help. And I have not weighed in yet this week, and I probably won't do that till tomorrow because I've been doing it on Mondays. But kind of going forward, I'm trying to have a plan. It may not be the perfect plan. It may change a little bit. But like this week, I'm going to fix breakfast bowls again. I had that 4 days last week. And one of the things I was reminded of again last week is that I get really bored if I'm eating the same exact thing every day. So what I had done is last week for several days, I had a 1/4 cup of Brahms cottage cheese, 4 to 5 ounces. Some days it was 4, some days it was 5 ounces of rotisserie chicken, and a serving or 2 servings of the I can't remember what the vegetable is called, but it's a vegetable blend that we get from Costco that's already cooked. I had that 3 days last week. And I enjoyed it. It was very high in protein, but I kind of got bored of it. And one day I literally just had a plate full of chicken nuggets. And then another day I had Panera Bread. Not necessarily the best choices, not necessarily the worst choices, but it was a choice. So this week, and like for breakfast last week, I had 1.5 chicken sausages in each of my bowls, a 1/4 cup of cottage cheese, which is half a serving, a serving or a little bit more of egg whites and 1 egg. And that's what I was having every day, 4 days last week. So, and one day I had a biscuit. So this week I'm going to do breakfast bowls, but I'm going to do potatoes, I think bacon, and then the cottage cheese, egg white, and egg mixture to kind of change things up. I had bought some bacon last week that I need to get used up. I'm also thinking about doing maybe some chicken bacon ranch, like making that mixture and then putting it in a tortilla and making like pinwheels. I'm also going to make a dense bean salad. I found a recipe and I've just kind of been changing it up slightly to make it work for us. I made one probably 3 weeks ago that was really good. I'll link the recipe that I based it off of down below, but I changed it up. I used corn and chicken, taco seasoning, black beans, and pinto beans, I think it was. Anyway, black beans, kidney beans, and pinto beans, that's what it was. And it was really good. We enjoyed it a lot. But I've been trying to do a variation of some of those. They work pretty well. They're filling. I add an additional source of protein aside from the beans. I have not tracked those, so I don't really know how many grams of protein are in it. But the recipe that I will link down below, actually, that is the dressing that I have used most often, no matter what salad that I'm making. I will change up kind of the seasonings in it, but that's the base of the recipe for the dressing that I'm making. I also saw a reel my friend Amy sent me a reel. I sent her a reel about a casserole that is roasted potatoes, like you dice them, roast them in a pan, brown ground beef with onion, and put it on top of the potatoes with cheese. And the girl that I watched the reel of, she actually makes a sauce with ketchup, mayonnaise, and mustard. I don't think I will do that, but I do think I want to try her base casserole and kind of see what we think, if that works for us. And I'm thinking that would also be something that would be good for us to have for leftovers as well. My son had also asked for a Lazy Man lasagna, so I want to try to make that. Last week I made some snack boxes with fruits. This week I'm kind of excited. I bought myself some apples. I had never tried the Pink Lady apples, so I bought that. So I'm really trying to get at least 30 grams of protein in with each meal. But the thing that I'm finding is if I'm increasing the proteins that I'm not feeling snacky. But the apples will be a good dessert option. It'll be a sweet that I can have, or it will be, you know, a good snack if I'm feeling snacky. It has fiber in it. You know, I can have apple and peanut butter. I can have the apple nachos that I've seen reels on. So I have ideas. I just trying to put it into fruition, or feeling like I can eat it. That's a whole other ball of wax, as they say. So that's kind of my ideas for my meal plan. I don't have anything definitive. There's probably going to be some chicken sandwiches thrown in there, but I don't really know yet. But that's kind of my plan for the week. But I will also be attempting to put up a video. It may not happen every Friday, but I will be putting up one this Friday, and I will be trying to make it a series of sorts. So it's just, you know, me kind of sharing stories, but hopefully it will be fun and interesting. And then I'm going to try to edit the videos that I have, the recipe videos that I've recorded, and try to get those uploaded on Wednesdays. Not sure how many of those I have recorded, or if once I start looking at them, if I think they're going to be okay for me to actually put up. But I will do the best I can in that regard. Anyway, that's all for now. It's kind of my basic update. Goals for next week. I am considering moving my step goal up, but I kind of want to see how it goes. I may go ahead and bump that up to either 7,500 or 8,000. I'm feeling very positive, and the one thing that I've noticed is when I am intentional, I can get 7,000 steps done during my workday. But I have to be intentional about it. What I'm hoping is that I can get back into the habit of doing some 10-minute walks, which I used to do all the time when I worked in the office. And then walking up and down the hall when I take a break to go to the bathroom. Things like that. Those little things help. They add up. Anyway, that's all for now. I hope everyone is well. I would also like to start a Thankful Thursday. Just sharing one little thing. I may make that a short, but just sharing something that we're grateful for. I know that, you know, we're not in November, but you know what? We need to be grateful every day and not just in November. But anyway. Okay. Like, comment, subscribe, share if you know anybody who might be interested. I'm not sure. I feel like I'm just kind of rambling, but I wanted to give you all an update. Anyway. Have a great day, y'all. I love you. Be blessed.